Are back. My phone is restarted. I am trying this again. And the reason I keep trying is because I don't want to give up the Facebook Live or the Instagram Live. But if these technical issues are not going to get fixed and we can't figure out why we're having them to begin with, I don't know. I really don't know how I'm going to be able to go live in the future if I cannot figure out what is happening on Instagram, on Facebook. This is not the norm. I always was able to go live before. It was never an issue. And all of a sudden, boom, I can't go live with anyone. I can't go live with Bella. I can't go live with Milana. I can't go live with anyone besides my husband, who will not go on camera, but his phone was the only phone that worked. Go figure. So somehow Instagram knows there's a connection, there's a marriage. They are inseparable. So their request I'm going to approve, but not Bella's or Milana's request. All right, so Milana, I see Bella's not working, so Bella's out. It did not work with Bella again. Milana, let me see if yours works. If not, then my account, I don't know what to say, but I did restart the phone, as all of you suggested. Ah, wow. At first, you don't succeed. Try again, try once, try twice,
We
try
did
10
it.
times. The point is, we finally did it. I almost said, oh my God, I'm done.
Oh my
I'm
God.
going to have to be a big girl and do this on my own. Here you are, Milana. It
I'm good. How
worked.
are you?
I am good.
Baruch
It's very
Hashem,
nice
it's
to see
working. Oh
you.
my God.
Yes, yes,
I
and I'm
actually had
very
to
happy.
update my app and it worked. So maybe it truly was on my end.
Because, like I said, my husband was able to do it. So I figured it probably was not on my end because
It
I wouldn't
wasn't.
be able to do it with anyone in that case.
Yeah.
But I was able to do it. So, Bella, maybe if you're watching, it could be that you have to update your app just like Milana did. And maybe that's why it was not working for Bella.
Maybe. How are
Okay,
you?
I'm good. I'm going to pretend you're Bella for a short time
Okay.
because my mind is already programmed for the show.
The patience that you have for this, my goodness. Молодец.
Because I haven't done this in some
It's been a
time, right?
while. It's been a
So
while.
here I was, a little bit under the weather, and I'm like, I don't feel great. But when I do these lives, it actually helps me like distract from that. I don't feel great.
Yeah.
There's like a bad flu going around. So as much as I don't have a cough or anything like that, I think I'm getting the effects of something, right? Dealing with patients and seeing
Yeah.
people. So your body takes a toll, and it's like, all right, I feel weak, but I'm not there yet to say that I'm sick. But maybe this is going to kind of distract me. So here I
That's good.
am going live, and I'm going to tell you the topic that we originally planned to go live about. And here, I think you will be good at it as well.
Let's hear
Did you
it.
did you see the little flyer I
I did
made?
not.
Okay.
No.
So the topic was real versus fake. Why people have the need to hide their true identities or feelings, something like that.
Well, it's two
Basically,
different things, identities or feelings.
what is the topic? Let me just look at my husband's phone just to see the proper wording, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll tell you my mindset behind this topic. But let me just see how we named it. Let me see it. Yeah, go to my stories. Give it to me. Do it. It's called Why People Hide Their True Intentions. Real versus fake. Why people hide their true intentions.
Mm-hmm.
So the topic basically came about, and the mindset behind the topic was, why is it that people will feel and act one way, but you are almost 100% sure it's not a genuine type of a way? They may be doing it either to fit in. They may be doing it either to be liked by others. They may be either doing it because they're very like they're insecure about identifying their real thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was something important to address I also wanted to address the friendship situation, real versus fake when it comes to friendships. Sometimes our real friends will really show their real side in certain situations. And then you almost wonder, are they really your friends? Are they really your supporters? And when do you really see that? True colors come out in certain situations. And then you realize with every season, our friendship circles can change, and there's nothing wrong with that. What the
Absolutely.
people that could have been your friends 20 years ago, it's sad sometimes to see them change so much. But with seasons and your growth and your maturity and the path in life that we take, sometimes has a shift in our friendships as well. So I
Absolutely.
was going to touch upon those two topics with her. But what do you think? Can you hit on this topic?
Yeah, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Because I can actually include few things in there from numerology perspective too. Why certain things happen to us, and why certain things, like you were mentioning, we can have a certain intention, but the way we act is different. And to put that together also, there's a lot of things where intention is the most important thing to begin with, but then there's also lack of the void. So, and when there is that lack of void, people have different actions because of that, because they're truly, their true actions are not really um, sincere or transparent, because it doesn't really come from the intention to begin with.
Okay. So when you're on the other side of that person, how do you translate that intention? You can mistranslate and say, well, they weren't fair or they're fake, or are they real? Are they genuine? And meanwhile, this person, like you said, didn't even have that intention.
Right. It
So,
it
but
really
I
it
think
really depends.
But I think in life, it's fair to say, as much as positive we want to sound, like we want to be so positive and we want to say everyone has good intentions, right? In a good, realist, ideal world, that would be ideal. But in a realistic world, if we put aside, like, okay, the benefit of the doubt part, let's like in a
Hmm.
realistic world, can we agree that people have these very fake type of behaviors and intentions?
Of
Can we
course.
agree?
Of course. Of
And
course.
I mean, like, and it doesn't make them bad people. It just makes the other person feel very confused by number one, can you trust these kind of people? Are they really a friend?
Hmm.
Because you see, my question is, why is it so important? Because I think it happens in so many different situations. It happens in scenarios. It happens in work. Let's say you're in a job and you're almost thrown under the bus, and then and you really feel like you're innocent in this picture, but then your coworker, for example, won't stand up to you and will keep her mouth shut just because she's not the one involved. So you're going downhill, has nothing to do with her. And then you're almost like, wait, what's going on? Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you defend me? So it happens in a lot of different situations. It's not even just with friends. It happens in many situations where people really show you their, or like, okay, let me give you another example. And this
Hmm.
is something I'm really trying to understand. Throwing words, right? Like it's very nice to say beautiful things like, I love you, you're amazing, you're great, you're this, you're that. But what happens when people overly flatter people? And does it become
It looks
genuine at
fake.
that point? Is it
Hmm.
really real or is it fake? Like, can you really love the whole world? Yeah, I love you, fine. But what if you're throwing that word everywhere to the point of, when do you really love someone if everybody is so lovable, right? And again, I'm not trying to be so picky. It's almost like you start to really picture yourself as, is this really a real genuine person, or is this person just like just throwing words around to be loved, accepted? Like that's really my question. So what do you think about this?
In that situation, I feel like it also depends on a person's personality, right? Because
Well,
there's also a person's personality who is very, very not greedy with words. and their feelings, and they're just, everything they say is hey love, or hey dear, hey babe, hey this, hey that. So it's like there's always something sweet, a sweet addition to their talks. So in that situation, if you know that this person has that type of a personality, you just accept that, but you
Right.
understand that, um maybe sometimes, when there's a serious talk, you have to kind of think twice before you make a certain decision with this person, or you really have to sit down and like, sit down and talk seriously and be like, hey, on a serious note, let's be serious here. And how do you really feel about this? It's important to be communicative and open with everyone. Also, like, for example, you're saying that, there's people at work or friends, even, family members, where if one doesn't stand up for another, if, we're going downhill with certain situations, you see, to me, it's like there's always a reason why we have these people in our lives. Hashem will always put a person in our lives where we're gonna have to think, why is this person in my life right now? Why didn't he defend me? Or he knew something, or she knew something. Why didn't she say something to back me up? But again, it's a lesson for you to learn. So, our goal is obviously not to blame anyone. Our goal is to be open and genuine with one another, and to have the right intention for everything.
Hmm. I agree with that. Actually, Bella just wrote a comment. I'm going to read it because it's easier for people to be sweet instead of being real. That's how you know they're fake. At least they have a sweet personality in general. It's like, I'll give you
Yes
that.
and no, yes and no. Let's see if she can. Bella, if you updated your Instagram, you can join us.
Right. Try to join us, but you know what it is? Like when you're really annoyed at someone's text and you'll put an LOL there just to kind of like make it look like you think it's funny, but you're so not laughing and you're so annoyed about it. It's almost like that, but that's like deflating the situation.
But then
Try
that
to
person at least didn't ignore you, and he was nice enough to send you at least an LOL.
No, it's like LOL, and then you're continuing with a comment. Right?
Oh, okay.
It's like funny, not funny, but let me just put that LOL because it kind of like deflates that annoyance in me right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And I'll
yes,
tell you,
yes.
people cannot handle real people. Does that make
It's
sense?
hard. It's hard.
The ones who come across real, like they will tell you their real feelings, their real thoughts, their real intentions, their real opinions. People don't necessarily
Because
they
people
don't
don't
feel
like
they
to
can
hear the
be
truth. People
right,
don't like to get out of their comfort zone.
right.
People don't like to do things out of their comfort. That's why they'd rather be just fake sometimes, you
And
know?
that's the word. The word is fake, just like it is. It's fake. I'll give you an example. Imagine, and this is just an example that came to me. You can be talking to your sister-in-law, right? And she just goes ahead and says, "Can you believe my mother-in-law just called me and said she's coming to me for the yeshua?" I'm just giving an example. It's never
Yeah,
happened to me.
yeah, yeah.
And all of a sudden, she's like all pissed off, and boom, who calls? The mother-in-law. She picks up the phone. Мама, конечно, приходите, конечно, я вас жду. Моя дверь всегда открыта для вас. And you're like, that is not what I just heard 2 seconds ago. You were bashing on her, and then you hear the «Моя дверь всегда открыта, конечно, как вы можете спрашивать». So, like, that's really what I'm talking about. It's like, can you change the world? Absolutely not. But I
No.
think like it's the addressing of, like sometimes people like that make you feel like you're living in a different zone, a different planet. It's like, what am I witnessing over here? Is this really how the world operates? Because to me personally, I'll be very I'll be as honest can get. There are a lot of people that live life, unfortunately, with this type of a behavior. It's like they're so nervous about being authentic and transparent and real that
I
it's
think they're
almost
more
like
scared maybe than nervous.
yeah, scared, whatever the word is, but it's like if everybody starts living that way, we become it kind of becomes like a domino effect, right? Like social media, the perceptions, the personas. I have to always show a clean house, and I have to always have a great outfit, and I have to always, yes, fear of judgment, fear of people talking, 100%, right? We're just living in that type of a society where, yes, we were taught in order to be accepted, sometimes people, like we're actually told, like in your face, even when you're pissed off and you're in a bad mood,
You
smile
can
and
see it,
like
yeah.
act like everything is okay. And that's good. That's good for a relationship with your daughter-in-law, right? Because you could be pissed off, and then boom, your daughter-in-law, and you're the mother-in-law. So sometimes you have to really like fake it and act. I don't have a daughter-in-law, but I mean, from what I'm learning, right? Like they're telling me, like sometimes you have to gungi and don't say anything extra and act like everything is okay. Don't talk unless you have to. So I'm learning this stuff.
You're
And
getting
yes,
ready.
in those instances, I 100% agree that yes, we should not always show, like the RBF, right? Like we should smile. I agree. Fine. That's for the sake of peace. That's for the sake of shalom bayit. That's for the sake of those things. But when you have a friendship and your friends will be fake, the question is, are they really your friends? Are they really your supporters? At what point in life can people continue being fake and still act like they're genuinely a friend?
Until that other friend grows, evolves, and understands that this is not their person, this is not the people that they like to be surrounded by. And, they then, everything has an expiration date.
Mhm.
Every person that comes into our life has an expiration date. They're there for just a certain period of time for a certain life lesson. So again, it always takes two to tango, right?
Right.
So if one of the friends continues to be fake just to be accepted in the group, or just to what, Bella? Hello.
I like how I didn't give Bella a warning.
I love
I'm
that.
like, wait a minute, do I see myself?
Anything inappropriate. Imagine
Oh
Bella if
my
you're sitting
God.
on the toilet or something. I was like, I'm completely accept. I don't care if it works or not. I'm not saying anything anymore.
I got a little scared because I saw myself in the camera.
It was to shock you, and it worked. There you
I
go.
know.
It was true. You had to
Update the app.
update the app. That was it. Thank you,
Gotta stay on
Milana.
top of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yes, so I agree, Milana. It's until we grow. But I'm sorry to interrupt. I didn't expect Bella to pop on the screen. I was listening
Me
to you,
neither.
but then all of a sudden Bella gets on the screen, so that totally threw us all off. Angela says, unfortunately, it happens often. People are sweet to your face, tell you how much they love you, and talk bad behind your back. Okay, it's called, so that I agree. And I think this is the part that really doesn't sit well with me. I don't even think it's talking behind your back necessarily. They will actually show you to your face what you really mean to them. Okay, before I give you a personal example of where, like, it happened to me. So it happened to me more than once, but I will share an example in a minute. Bella or Milana, do you have a scenario that you can recall where you felt that a person was genuinely acting fake to you?
Of course. Of course.
Can you share a scenario, or is it, because I don't think anybody knows what you're talking about? Can you share it?
I, I can't really do this right now, but of course, it's life. At the,
You can.
I'm
I
sure
think we all go through it in our
we all go
lives.
through it. Yes,
Okay,
we all go through it.
I'll give you a scenario. Okay, again, there's no names, but I'll give you an example of a scenario in which I personally, and again, maybe the person is going to hear it and say, how can she talk about this? This is not my intention, blah, blah, blah. The way I felt at that moment, it was a real eye opener, because to me personally, it felt like, why are there two sides of a story right in front of me? Like I'm witnessing. And I started to, I think After witnessing that event that happened to me, I stopped connecting myself. And it's not good. But you know how you say people grow? It was such a growth for me because I think I lived life in a fantasy world that everybody is like me. When I say like me, I'm not trying to clap for myself. It's like authentic, real. We'll tell you how she feels. We'll stand up for the truth. We'll go at it. And then it was like, wait, what just happened? And it was like such an eye opener that all of a sudden it made me a little nervous that either I will get hurt all the time or I have to back away from trusting people and their intentions. And I want to kind of say, I don't want to live where I don't trust people and their intentions, but instead let me raise awareness that this is not a good thing to do. Like people should really, it's not cool. So like a few years ago, I had an event and I was part of an event with a group of people. And it was an amazing, amazing, amazing event. It went great. And it was the first time I actually associated myself with others to do an event with a group of people. I usually like to do things on my own in general because I know my personality is strong, right? It's not like I'm not oblivious. Okay, I'm very well aware, and you're smiling because I know both of you probably have the same type of personalities, which is why we're all here on the same live platform. So when you have a strong personality, it's hard for people. Right, it's hard for people to really understand that when you come across and say something, you mean it with love. It's just you're saying it in a very confident way because that's just your personality. It doesn't mean you think you're smarter than everyone. So during that whole process, I found out that some things were not 100% transparent. And I thought, hey, why was there no transparency here? If we're a group of people doing the same thing, part of trust going forward in life in general is transparency. It could be in a marriage, it could be in a friendship, it could be at work, any relationship, you need to be transparent. If transparency is not there or you find out later that it wasn't 100% transparency, that's kind of like a lie or, it's kind of sneaky behavior and you start to really think twice about associating yourself. So here I was, and I found out that it was not 100% transparent. The event took place. I felt very personal about it because I felt like not that I'm better than anybody, it bothered me because I felt like I was a big part of the event as other people, but I took pride in that. And then I found out it wasn't transparent. So I called a friend of mine and I said, hey, were you bothered by the fact that some things were not done, they weren't transparent about it? Were you bothered? Are you upset about it? Because I think me and you both were not aware of it. Looks like others in the group were. We weren't. This friend said to me, yeah, absolutely. I really am upset about it. I said, look, it's not your personality to say something. I don't mind saying it because people will know me. I'm the one who breaks the real thing. I will go to the group and I will voice that, hey, this is not cool. What's going on here? Why are we being told at the end of everything, the event is over? Where's the transparency? Just to give you a heads up for people who are like, what was this about? Money was involved. Let's put it like that, okay? It was about money. I didn't think money was there to begin with. So for me, I didn't care because I wasn't doing the event for money, but there was money involved. And I find out at the end that I wasn't informed that money was there and some people got paid and some people didn't. Now, again, who decides who gets paid, who doesn't get paid? That's not the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation is, why was this not being told publicly to the group of people who are all part of it that there was money involved and that some people got paid? And not everybody's aware that some people got paid. To me, it was a big deal, okay? I run and operate certain ways. So now I'm thinking my friend is going to back me up. There was no backup. There was just like, oh, it's fine. It's not a big deal. What's the big deal? They deserve it. It's okay. And then you're just sitting and you're thinking to yourself, is that really how people operate? Where is the fact that you're the only idiot in the whole group saying something already puts you in a place of, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm very embarrassed to say this, right? Because who wants to be the bad guy and say, hey, this is not cool. This is not kosher. This is not right. And then when you say it and you voice it, and then the people who are supposed to be the ones to back you up and say, she's right, This is not fair. This is not how we started. This is not the way it was supposed to be. There was no transparency here. And people don't do that. And they sit behind closed doors and watch. And then you know what happens after that? They continue their friendships like nothing ever happened. They become the good guys in the situation.
And you're the
Their
bad
friendships
one.
don't get affected. They continue going out. They continue taking pictures with each other. They continue celebrating events with each other. And guess who becomes the one that never sits on those tables again?
You're the
You.
one who spoke up.
Because now people are like, oh, she looks for problems. Oh, right. Because instead of taking blame and ownership, and yeah, of course, at the end, it's like, yeah, we're wrong. Yeah, we're sorry. I'm not even upset about the people that weren't transparent. Forget it. That's fine. It happened. It's about the ones who were supposed to support you, the ones who were supposed to say, I agree, this is wrong. The ones who, behind closed doors, on your phone calls, on your conversations, will say, you're right, this is wrong, this is not right. But when it comes to reality and it becomes to this is now show your true colors, expose that. Not just behind closed doors where people don't hear you support a friend. You realize, you really have to be, and I'm not saying this to be negative because there are plenty of people who will support and uproot you, but it teaches you a big lesson in life that
Exactly.
some people are in it just for themselves. They're not in it for you. They don't really care. They're there just to protect their reputation, their ego, their friendships. So what do you think, ladies? Let me hear your opinions on this.
And I think
Bella,
you should be thankful that God opened your eyes to see what kind of a friends you had. Friends. Потому
listen,
что
we
from now
forgive and
on
we
ты
forget,
видишь,
but I was just using it as an example.
да, from now, поэтому, like, I'm gonna speak for myself, поэтому I don't do anything in groups. I don't do nothing in groups. Я знаю how it works, always takes one Karen to all of a sudden decide this
Karen.
is how it's gonna be. И потом появляются несколько мышки, которые make few phone calls между собой. Это я была в таких ситуациях. И все, они втроем решают, out of 15 people, втроем решают, что будет. Then, if you say, why did you do this behind my back? Or why did you do behind this 10 other people's back? We want to know what's going on. We want to know, о чем вы говорите, что вы решаете. And they're like, oh, we haven't decided, we haven't finalized, что мы будем делать. Поэтому, with life, with age, I realized I'm not the person to do anything in groups, потому что people are not honest. And then this is like, для меня это убийство, когда people are not honest with me, для меня это просто убийство, понимаешь? I can't handle it. Being a liar and being not honest, для меня
They
это...
were lying. People think not saying something is not considered a lie.
Okay, so here's another thought about this. The person who didn't speak up for you, who didn't back you up, right? Like you said, you have the personality type where you will speak up. You can break the rules and you can get up in the middle of the room and say, hey, I don't think this is right. This is not kosher. Let's make things right. You have the ability to do that because you have that personality. Some
Right.
people don't even have that type of a personality. They're all macho behind the closed doors, but when it comes to being real and open in front of public, they're like little, мышечки сразу становятся because they don't have that energy to give off.
But I'll tell you why it bothered me. Because then you continue seeing the friendships continue, right? They're going out and they're taking pictures and they're celebrating events and they're being invited to other events. And now all of a sudden, you're the one that no one wants to invite to those events. I don't want to say specific events. I don't
Right,
want to give
because
so
you
many
spoke
clues.
up.
Because now you're the bad one. You're the one who's looking for problems and what's the big deal. And even
But
there were some.
but that's also, again, what you did What you
That's just an
did, you
example, right?
right, right. It's an amazing example because again, remember how I said that Hashem puts people in our lives
For
for
purpose.
reasons.
Yeah, for a
So
reason.
you weren't even meant to be connected with those people because
Да.
Hashem has something much more bigger and better for you in store. So that's like, there's no reason for us to get upset after the math because we always have to look from a different perspective by saying, thank you, Hashem, for putting me in this situation because I know you have something better for me.
Да, Milana, I agree with you, but don't you feel like when you have a group of friends who you think they're your friends, at least one person would be there with you and say, look, yeah, your habit is right. I agree with her. And I think you guys should have done this way or that way. That would make you feel like, okay, at least one friend stood up for you, and you're not the only one fool in a group who is fighting for yourself. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, but again, there are people who can speak up and there's people who cannot. They just cannot speak
Because
up.
they're fake people.
But
Because they're fake people.
there you go, common denominator.
I love it.
You know what's interesting? They speak up very well in other situations.
Right,
That's what the
Yeah.
right, right.
problem is.
No?
In other situations, those same people are very big speakers. They're
Oh my
very big
goodness.
people. Like they will talk in like, in your other events, right? I'm saying like not everybody is so quiet behind closed doors. You know these people, whether it's a colleague, whether it's just, and the interesting part is when people know when to talk. And then when they want to cover themselves and their identities and they want to continue to be loving and sweet, all of a sudden they're muted. And it's
Yeah.
almost like how,
Because
and
they're in there for their own benefits.
I
Yeah.
think that's I think that, yes. Yeah, like I told you, as much as I want to go with the judge with the benefit of the doubt, and maybe she really genuinely wasn't bothered, and maybe, it's really not a big deal, and maybe, yes, we can do all those fill in the blanks. But then when you're cornered, and all of a sudden your friend is not being invited to any more of your outings, and you don't question, where is your habit here? How come she's not coming to these events? Why
Not
aren't
one
you calling
person
her?
mentioned that, right?
I mean, I haven't been to any events going
No, I mean
forward,
in general.
but I'm just giving you an example. This is not about me. This is where this
Да.
topic idea came from. It's from seeing that there are situations in life that people all of a sudden will negate themselves from what bothers them, right? It bothered you 2 minutes ago. You were bothered that your friend is coming with 6 kids to your house. All of a sudden that friend comes. Okay, I'm not saying be mean and miserable, but don't lie. I'm so happy you brought all your kids with you. What? You were just talking about how pissed off you were. What are you saying? You're so happy all her kids are here? It's like when you see from the sidelines, right? You actually observe and you witness and you see, it's like, oh my God, like really? Is this how these people are? Do they really lie to your face? Because just 2 seconds ago, the conversations you weren't hearing, like they say, like how they say God hears conversations you don't hear and he protects you from them. It's like, why do people have this need to put on this fake appearance and face? And I think also with time, when people are not genuine and real, and tell me if you agree with me, people will sense that. I mean, there's only so much you can do that for. And then people will see, hey, something doesn't make sense here. This is not 100% true. And they catch you, and they catch you. So it's very sad, and there is no solution to this. So if we're looking for a solution, this is not a solution. We're not going to find the solution. It's all people working on their own. People have to work on themselves. All of us have to work on ourselves. I thought it was very important to raise awareness. Milana?
I totally agree with you. And I think when you say there is no solution to this, I feel like for all of us in this situation, the solution would be, in my family, we have a joke if something that we don't like or something that we're trying to pass by, we say smile and wave. Just smile
Okay.
and wave. So we smile and we wave and we just go our way. And we know better because at the end of the day, we all have our own truths. Мы никогда никому ничего в этой жизни не докажем.
Не
Потому что
докажем.
у нас у всех есть своя правда. Ты свою правду доказывала. She was staying in the corner quiet because she had something of her own in her thoughts. И у всех так по жизни, у всех так идет. Поэтому доказывать мы никогда никому ничего не сможем. Мы только можем себя оберегать свои нервы, не обижаться, говорить спасибо Всевышнему за эти ситуации и просто идти дальше. That's my, that's my philosophy of life, pretty much.
Life learning lesson.
And
Yeah.
that's 100% the right philosophy. I think we can all agree here that this is how we have to live our life now. Not trying to prove anything to anybody. Understand that everybody's mindset is different. And for some strange, weird mindsets some people might have, for them, that's their truth too. They feel this is the right way to be. And again, maybe there's something we can learn that we don't have to necessarily voice every opinion, right?
Yes, definitely. I think that also. I mean, in a way, you see, it again, it depends what the situation is going to be. Who is this person? Like, if we're gonna, если я сейчас поставлю немножко сюда нумерологию, right? Let's say if this was a situation for a person with a very not strong personality, who has hard time building their own boundaries, who have hard time speaking up, this would be a perfect situation for them to speak up. For people who have much stronger, bolder personalities, who have the ability to to speak up and to protect themselves, sometimes for us it's actually a lesson to just stay quiet, walk away, don't say anything, just make a lesson for it out of in your own head.
Yes, I agree. 100%. Veta writes, such friends are weak to stand up to bigger group of people due to potentially being excluded from this group. They would rather brush it off like it's not a big deal. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. Bella, what do you think in general? Are you in the mindset of better to be quiet or better to be right?
Я никогда никому ничего не доказываю. Usually I just step away, я молчу. Обычно это вот это вот я молчу. Доказывать кому-то with the life learning lesson, я поняла для себя, что это, как Милана сказала, это плохо для моего организма, плохо для моих мозгов, для моей головы. Иногда it bothers people when I all of a sudden become a quiet person. И они это чувствуют. Они это чувствуют, and they wanna... они
They
хотят узнать...
trigger you to make you speak up. They
Да,
will
они
do
хотят,
things to
что
speak.
произошло, что случилось, what happened, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. And to me, for me to talk, it takes time. I need my space, I need my time, I need my... вот это, like, me time, чтобы меня никто не трогал. It's not because I'm thinking about it 24/7, that's because I'm just healing myself that way, понимаешь? If I get hurt. I don't have to scream and yell. I don't have to say, это ты виновата, или я виновата, или мы вместе виноваты. At this situation, it doesn't matter, кто виноват. All it matters to me, как я себя чувствую right now. Я знаю, что я сказала, или я знаю, или тот человек знает, что он сказал. И мы все знаем, где мы в чем-то виноваты. Я могла, может быть, где-то промолчать и просто мимо ушей пропустить, или тот человек мог как-то по-другому отреагировать. Basically, to me, я просто отхожу и молчу. Вот это вот я молчу, и все. Я могу молчать неделю, я могу молчать 2, а потом я могу вернуться к этому человеку like nothing happened, потому что... Но опять-таки я вам хочу сказать, девочки, у меня нету группов людей, с кем я дружу У меня нету групп подруг, у меня нету такого. Я дружу с тобой, я могу дружить с Миланой, я могу дружить там с соседкой, но у меня нету такого френдшип ни с кем, чтобы я прям не могла жить без этого друга.
Is that something that you had to learn from experience, or that's how you've always been?
Да, это мне пришло с возрастом, и это мне пришло with my age. Я поняла для себя, что it's not worth it, и я поняла для себя, что для меня family and my closest people is my family is more important to me, and I should save that energy for my family instead of wasting my energy for nonsense.
I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's considered nonsense, because anything that triggers us is not necessarily
Да,
nonsense. It's important
no,
enough to
it's
have
not
triggered us. It's just,
правильно.
where are you going to give your energy? If you know the people you're talking to don't care enough about you or your thought process, what's the point of giving your energy and frustrating yourself? And then we all come to this conclusion that the only people who really probably care about us are going to be our kids, and are going to
Да,
be our husband, our parents. So
Our
those are the
family,
people that are worth even trying to express how we feel, what bothered us, what triggered us.
100%.
Everybody else is just going to look at you and either call you very sensitive, oh, she's making a big deal, or
she's
why
a
is it like this,
bitch,
what's
she's
going
this,
on, why is she
да,
looking for
да.
problems, why is she so sensitive. The problem is because it's easier for people to say you are the problem than to say maybe I hurt her. Or you know what? Sometimes you are the problem. You may be too sensitive. I'm saying maybe we are the problem. But
Да,
somebody who genuinely would care would say, hey, I'm sorry if I even upset you. That wasn't even my intention to do it, right? And you can have a conversation. But most people, as we get older, I agree, that's a very common denominator. As we get older, we start to realize most people are not, they're there for themselves anyways. And you're not going to change them by telling them how frustrated something makes you. So best to just keep moving on, pick up what you got to pick up, brush it off, and just move forward. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of haters. You're going to have people who are not going to like you, and you're not bringing any good to yourself.
Communication is definitely the key in everything. When we are open with one another, when we communicate with one another and we speak our feelings nicely, right? Nicely explain to a person that, hey, I didn't appreciate this, or I didn't like this. You made me feel this certain way. When we speak our feelings and our thoughts, we can actually fix a lot of things in relationships, whether it's with our friends, our family, our kids, anyone, because um there are people who are your friends who truly become your family too.
right.
I know a lot of cases like this too. I mean, I have cases like this in my personal life too. So I mean, like, um I say that you're blessed if you truly have a friend from a childhood where you're still friends. um and I'm blessed to have a friend like that. So but again, it it takes two to tango. A true friend will grow with you together. You both are going to be interested in the things that both will interest you, to grow spiritually, to grow in your wisdom, in anything that you do. And same thing goes with our relationships, with our kids, with our husbands. Same. So it's important to always communicate.
Communicate with the right people.
With the right people, yes. And we are meant in our lives, we are meant to move people out of our lives, to release people out of our lives, and make room for new people in our lives, because new people will not come because there's no space. There's no physical or mental space for all these people to be in your lives. People have to come out of your life.
That's
And
why
it's
they
okay.
say,
We thank them for everything, and we say
да.
thank you for being in my life, but now it's time to go. Все,
Поэтому говорят, одна дверь закрывается, вторая
другая
дверь
открывается.
открывается.
100%.
Да.
Другая не откроется, пока первая не закроется.
Не закроется, да.
Stella writes, подруги — это муж, дети, родители. Sephora writes, we can't change anyone because everyone has their own option and they don't want to admit that there was a problem. People, Queen Girl writes, people don't know how to apologize and say, yes, I was wrong.
And this is where you choose your battles, who you wanna deal with in your life.
Да.
You choose your own battles. Do you want to constantly deal with a friend or, with a friend like that who will never say or admit their fault? That's where the communication comes through. That's where the transparency comes through, that being genuine with one another.
And then Iskiana wrote, Bella's right. Better to move on. The other side will be bothered when you move on. And when we speak up, people enjoy the entertainment. That's actually how it feels sometimes.
Yep.
It feels like it's an entertainment, especially when you're in groups and everyone is so quiet and you're definitely entertainment sometimes. Yeah, I agree with that.
But you know that when you become the entertainment for the people, what they're actually doing is they're evolving your soul even higher. They're fixing your karma for you, and they're just bringing on karma to their lives. They're helping you rise for your soul. This is why we're not allowed to talk about other people. This is why
Right.
we're not allowed to judge. Because as soon as we start doing that, we take upon ourselves their own karmic debts.
It's hard to be friends with our own as they show their jealousy, are very judgmental, and create competition with each other rather than being supportive and happy for one another.
I love that. That's very good,
That's a
Marina.
huge one, and yeah, that is a huge one.
And I think that's really what happens, unfortunately, whether you're in a business, right? Let's say or you're doing some sort of a profession, especially when you're in a public forum, right? Like social media, it's very hard, I've noticed. And just to kind of move to a different topic real quick, it's almost like even on social media, right? When people don't give you that like a validation or that clap or that share or that like, and they're not supporting you, not that they don't realize you don't need it, right? You're going to move on and do what you have to do, whether you get that like, you don't get that like, you get that comment, you don't get that comment. It's not a make me or break me situation. You're going to continue to do it. But when people are pretending, right? You know that they see everything. You know that they're watching. You know that they're not blind. They've seen it being shared. And then they won't even acknowledge it or say anything, or even they won't even like try to friend you or follow you or anything. It's almost like, why? Like, why does somebody else's growth, or how about when people block you for no apparent reason and you're still trying to figure out, well, what happened? Why was I blocked? And then you find out you were blocked because you're doing something similar to that person. So now you're blocked because God forbid, maybe that person thinks you're copying them. So they don't want to give you any more ideas, God forbid, right? So people really forget who's in charge of this world. It's the one above, right? And that God is the one giving you the gifts you have. These people are not the ones who are giving you the gifts. And if they think they're going to block you and they think that, that's going to hurt you, it may hurt you. It may hurt you, but that just shows the pettiness of those people, just shows like the immaturity of those people. And that's the unfortunate part that, we have to, and the new year, 2026, it's a very good start for people to really just start to be more loving, more caring, more genuine,
More
less
giving.
real, less jealous. I think all of those are very good. People say, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I mean, we're all guilty of that, right? The gym is like number one for almost everyone. Everyone's New Year's resolution is, I'm going to work out. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to go to the gym. I have, like, it's very hard for people to say, I'm going to be a better person. Like, we don't do that really as a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Это как на Йом-Кипур. Все идут помолиться, а на второй день идут сплетничать опять.
Или даже в этот день.
Да, да.
Unfortunately, this is where we
Unfortunately,
smile and wave and just go.
exactly. That's the best way to. Um, but honestly, I totally see the point of what your habit is saying. Sometimes people do hurt you so deeply that ты даже не знаешь how to express your feelings. Ты знаешь, ты уже, you get lost in yourself. That's how deeply people can hurt you without even, может быть, они даже и не понимают, что они делают by hurting your feelings, but you're hurt. You're hurting from the inside. И поэтому для меня it's better to heal the quiet way.
Alone.
Да.
Hmm.
Whether
So
it's a family, go ahead.
I'm sure people heal different ways, you know, like
Oh,
некоторые,
yes.
некоторые там выясняют отношения, некоторые let's get out together and then figure things out. Для меня being alone это the best way to heal.
Sevens don't like confrontations. They would rather not confront anything. Они просто уйдут в сторону. They will deal with it with themselves, with their own thoughts. They'll eat it, they'll digest it, and then overnight проснуться, как будто бы ничего не было. That's how seven
True.
heals.
Yeah, that's true.
Да.
Whether it's a family or friend who is fake, ignore, move forward. They will realize how you aren't entertaining their nonsense and realize how phony they look now. Yeah, all this is very, very true. I think we brought a very good topic. I mean, again, this was more just for awareness because when I get questions on my anonymous questions, I can't always share all the
Hmm.
questions because it's very hard for me to answer when I have those anonymous. It becomes like a very long answer. I don't know all the details, but I see from the questions that I get, a lot of it has to do with people and having fake friends and fake people being jealous and people not being happy. So, which is why I decided that this is a very important topic to address because it really is something that many people deal with. A lot of them are dealing with it from their sister-in-laws, from their family members. I got
Hmm.
tons of sister-in-law questions. And I think it all comes down to the common denominator. At some point, we have to stop trying to prove ourselves, stop trying to prove our point, just wish these people well, heal, know our worth, and, just focus on our kids and husband.
I agree. I agree. There's a question, what do you mean by sevens? When I say sevens, it's people who were born on the 7th, 16th, and the 25th of any month. That's gematria.
So Milana is a numerologist for anybody that doesn't know. So she is able to describe what is a numerologist.
Basically, numerology gives us, it's the knowledge. This should be a whole new topic. It's a knowledge that gives us the opportunity to find out from our birthdays, because every number is an energy, and our birthday, every number that we bring here, the day that we're born, the month and the year, has a certain energy. And those energies are engraved in our personalities, in our archetypes, in our life purpose. And through our birthday, we are capable to understand what is truly our purpose in life is, what is our weaknesses. This is the biggest part in numerology that helps me with my clients, where how do we fight these battles? Because the things that we get triggered the most are our weaknesses and the energies that we are missing in our birthday. And those are the energies that we are here to learn and acquire. So when we understand and we truly open our birthday and we reveal all, the strengths and the weaknesses through those energies, life becomes a lot easier to handle these type of situations, especially the mother-in-law situations and the husbands and the sister-in-laws, family, husbands. It's just it goes so deep that it gives you such clarity and such a deep understanding of why you can be going through such a life situation that you learn how to accept things, because God put you specifically. Your soul already knows what day you're going to be born,
Right.
and Hashem already said you're going to be born on this day, and those qualities, those energies in your personality were already instilled in you way before you are born. But how do we live with them? How do we learn how to live with them the right way? It's through our birthday, through our names.
Very deep. And then Milana, we need another live on that segment, but I'm going to wrap
I
up
got it.
tonight because here it's 11:30 in New York. Both of you are actually on the same time zone. You're
Are
both,
we?
yeah, you're both, what time is it by both of you? It's like 8:30 right now, correct?
9:30 by me.
Oh, so
8:30.
so she's 8:30, you're 9:30, so I'm at 11:30, so time for me
Yes.
to go to bed. So
I'm
it's
so
been
happy this worked out.
and guess what? We were able to get all of us on the
All
live
three of
this
us.
time, which was really awesome. And you were all able to upgrade the Instagram, which worked out as well.
Because of
Finally.
you. Thank you.
So thank you for joining. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Milana. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure to see you both.
Thank you,
I
ladies.
think the conversation was very interesting, and thank you to all the ladies who joined us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All
Have a
right.
great
Have a
night,
good night,
ladies.
ladies. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Happy New
Bye. Happy
Year.
New Year.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.